good to get a win, so let's enjoy it for the moment and then get ready to play Michigan State tomorrow. So some guys got a chance, a lot of guys got a chance to play today. Got a chance to play a lot of guys for the first time in their career here at Youngstown State, so it was encouraging to get some of those guys in the game, kind of evaluate exactly how much they know and how well they can play. And so if we have any injuries down the road, we can count on those guys getting in the game and being able to help us.
Offensive improvement was pretty significant. Kurt especially looked like he was on point with a lot of his throws. What do you think the difference was this week?
I think he, felt like he probably had something to prove. Last week he was probably disappointed, obviously, with what happened during the game. And, we felt like as a supporting cast, we needed to make sure we rallied around him, give him an opportunity to be successful. And Kurt is a good football player. His supporting cast needs to support him at all times, and we'll be a pretty good group.
Did you just feel like the offense gelled better today, Coach, than last week?
I mean, if you give a guy protection, if you run the ball well, those are things that set up our scheme well. Run the right route and catch balls. I mean, those are all good things. And that's what we did today.
You talk about the balance, 359 passing, 359 rushing.
Well, we probably, they kept on trying to blitz us like crazy, so they put us in a situation where we probably had to throw the ball there maybe a little bit more than we wanted to, especially with the game being out of reach. But, they're going to continue to line up and do that. We're going to max protect and get rid of the ball.
Talk about the young guys in your backfield, Coach. Ruiz has a couple touchdowns. I mean, you take the big guys out and you don't miss a beat with those guys. They look good.
Well, Martin Ruiz is a guy, obviously that we expected that would probably come in here and have a chance to play. We had some question marks at running back as far as prior to training camp. And Martin's a talented guy. He runs low. He runs physical. He can hit the home run ball on you. And I think you saw Jody Webb today. Sometimes you don't even have to block for him. We like guys like that. He's a pretty special guy too. Good thing is those two boys are freshmen.
Maybe talk about Jelani getting back in first game.
It was good to get him in there. It's been a while since he's had some live game action. It was good to see him actually get hit and get tackled and get his confidence up and doing some blocking. On Monday at practice when he was running around, he was running a lot better than he was prior to the first game for Dayton. He was still kind of dinged up, and his knee problem became a hip problem and everything else, and it was good just to keep him on the shelf last week. But with him coming back, it gives us more depth at receiver.
About Travis, he talked a little bit about getting used to the position. He said that he's had to do some things differently over the last 2 years. Where have you seen the most progress from him?
Well, Travis is playing with a lot of energy right now. He's playing fast. There's a couple of times he missed some tackles that he had a chance to make some electrifying tackles, and I think sometimes he just goes too fast.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to slow down a little bit and bend his knees. But he's the guy that glaringly stands out on the football field as far as just having another gear than everyone else out there. And we just got to get him to bend his knees a little bit more when it comes time to tackle. But Travis is much improved, and he's got a lot of energy. He's stepping up and kind of taking a leadership role of our defense in the front seven. He's emotional, speaks up, and he's poised to have a good year.
Kurt admitted that he started thinking about Michigan State in the locker room. Is that just one of those games where you just start?
Yeah. Well, it's a situation where, it's obviously a big football game. It's a Big Ten team. They're nationally ranked. They're well coached. We went up there and played 2 years ago. It's a great environment, fun place to play, and it's you're in the wrong business if you don't get excited to go play Michigan State.
Do you notice the guys being a little more attentive in practice on weeks like this? Maybe a little sharper.
We'll see this week. I hope you're right, but I know that we'll be ready to play. We've got 7 days to get ready.
A little bit talk to me a little bit about Marcel Caver. He seems a guy that really kind of stood out today. And, we've seen his speed of practice. He kind of was on display a little more today. You know, I see a guy who's fighting for more playing time.
Yeah, he's a guy that had a great off season, works hard. He probably overdoes it on Sundays. He comes up here and does run the routes on air. Really an overachiever type guy, works hard. But you know, he's still working on his craft, and he's a sophomore. But he is a threat. We're working on him catching the football and doing something yards after catch, which is a big deal. And he's got a chance to be special.
You talked about getting an edge and keeping it. You know, everything's in your hands. Is this kind of a victory today something that contributes to that edge greatly?
I wouldn't say greatly, no. You know, we know we have to keep improving every week. Indiana State almost beat Purdue today, you know, and we gotta keep improving because our conference, whether it's recognized or not, is as good as a lot of people around the country that outside the top 25, and we gotta keep improving. And we weren't perfect today by no means. But we are making progress. We are gaining confidence. But you know, we got another football game next week, and that'll be a big measuring stick against a pretty good football team.
Great, thanks, guys.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you go for two at that first touchdown instead of a field goal?
I wanted to make sure that when people play us in the future, that they're lining up correctly and making them work during the week. Spend a little extra time on that formation. Do you think that was a good idea?
Absolutely.
But you know what the rule is? 8 is better than 7.
Absolutely.